How's it guys? Perry here from chilli. Today I'm doing another taste test review, looking at a special variety today. This one here, first time growing these in South Africa. Nice, big, gnarly, foldy pods, beautiful red color with a little bit of a mottling to the color, so not quite even, but nonetheless. This is a hybrid variety, as I mentioned. First time growing these in South Africa. It's called the Bahamian Beast. Now, most of you will be going, oh, Bahamian Goat Pepper, but actually no, it's a hybrid. This is a hybrid between Bahamian Goat Pepper, and which is a chinense, sort of in line with a Scotch bonnet kind of habanero type, and a unknown Superhot. And as you can see, the skin, the texture, not as smooth as a Bahamian goat. It's got lumps, it's got bumps, it's got folds. It's looking a lot more butch than your typical Bahamian goat pepper. So this is the Bahamian, trying to get my distances right here. This is the Bahamian Beast. It's an F2. And yeah, I'm going to do a taste test of that today. I'm going to cut one of these open. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to keep you entertained with my conversation. What can I tell you about this variety? It's a new variety. These pods are quite ripe, so apologies. Not quite as crunchy there on the inside. It's already gone a bit frosty. I should have done this taste test quite a few days ago already, but yeah, sometimes one puts these things off. Quite a lot of capsaicin inside these pods. You can see that already. Just trying to get the seeds out. Don't really want to waste those. This is obviously a chinense. It's a hybrid between a Superhot and a Bahamian goat, which comes from the Caribbean. Some of you may have grown the Bahamian goat pepper, and you'll probably know what that looks like. And this is also a similar kind of plant, possibly a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, and yeah, it's got these amazing pods growing along. Quite a decent producer, certainly very big pods. I can smell it's got kind of either a 7-pot or a Trinidad 7-pot or a ghost pepper kind of smell about it. Certainly a lot more aromatic than your straight down the line goat pepper, which would be sort of more of a habanero Scotch bonnet smell. These are, sorry, I'm trying to get all of the seeds out. I know some of you out there are quite keen to get a chance to grow these, so I don't want to waste any. Yeah, it's taken quite a long time for these pods to ripen. As is the case with most hybrids, you never quite know which direction the pheno is going to go and how the color is going to turn out. And while I was happy with the pheno on these, and I could see that this wasn't just a straightforward Bahamian goat pepper, based on the texture of these pods, just the texture alone, you could see that there's you can see I've taken all the seeds out on the inside. It's just glistening. There's lots of capsaicin on the inside there. Again, I'm trying to get all of the seeds out because they're quite precious. Not too many of those around. So as mentioned, the Bahamian goat pepper is sort of a nice peachy color, smooth on the outside. As you can see, once again, this has got sort of a texture of a ghost pepper or a 7-pot on the outside. So different pheno, different texture, and then while growing these, the color wasn't changing. So they started off with sort of a light greenish color, and then progressed to a peach color. And my immediate reaction was, it's going to be peach. And that's not going to be the way that it looked on the pictures. But surprise of all surprises, when these fully ripened, the red came through in the 11th hour. So, so yeah, very keen to try this. Got a couple of pods lined up that I'd like to try this afternoon. The problem with growing so many chilies is you often don't get the time or the inclination to try Superhot after Superhot after Superhot after Superhot. So almost done here. Okay. So right, the Bahamian Beast. It's an F2, which basically means, if I get my facts straight, apologies, it will have a 50-50 mix of the parent plants. So if this was a cross between the Bahamian Goat Pepper and a Super, 50% of them, in a very simplistic term, 50% of them will be Bahamian Goat Pepper and 50% of them will be, okay, this is quite a soft pod, it's a thin-skinned pod, there's a lot of flesh here, really a lot of flesh. I managed to get all of the seeds out. I'm going to stop talking and do some of the walking here, so yeah. It's got a lovely smell about it, but this smell I recognize is the Superhot pods coming through. It's the supers. It's a ghost pepper. I think it's probably more like a Trinidad 7 pod that this has been crossed with. It kind of makes sense to keep it within the Caribbean fold. Yeah, so anyway, the Bahamian Beast. Very florally, very buttery. Fruity. It's a real mouthful. A little bit of bitterness there. Not terribly sweet. The bitter, I've said it before, is usually that sign. It's going to be a very hot pot. Fruity, kind of leaning towards the herbaceous, I would say. Not my favorite flavor, herbaceous. That was a mouthful. Okay. Very fruity. I love the aroma on this variety. Really had a nice 7-pot kind of smell about it. 7-pot Butchalokia. Slow to creep. It's a slow creeper. It's a creeper, let's put it that way. Top of the tongue. The top of the tongue, really starting to grip on the top of the tongue now, starting to bite down on the top of the tongue. Lovely pepperiness in the mouth. A little bit of fruity residue there. The vegetativeness is kind of gone. Sweetness starting to come in. Bitterness starting to disappear. Roof of the mouth now starting to feel very peppery. It's got a peppery burn. Yeah, a well-rounded peppery burn. I'm really quite enjoying that. Getting a little bit of a sweat going on there. Front of the mouth. Front of the mouth. Roof of the mouth. Top of the tongue. Not the back of the throat. Not so much. Not right now. But it is starting to work its, there it goes, starting to work its way to the back of the throat. Really awesome chili. Great for making sauces, great for making powders. Thin skin usually lends itself to drying, making powders. Lovely heat to this Bahamian Beast. Kind of not quite too sure where to place this on the heat scale. It's creating a real glow. Feeling the heat. throughout the whole head actually, and in the stomach. Starting to tackle the back of the throat there a little bit, but sort of the burn is weighted mainly to the front of the mouth. Lovely fruity, peppery flavors in the mouth. Really nice burn. It's not. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that burn. Not so much the sides of the mouth, but just the roof of the mouth, front of the mouth, roof of the mouth, to the back of the throat. It's actually progressing quite slowly, and it's still climbing. Yeah, got a little bit of the tear ducts going there, which is the norm. Not hectically. Not an ulcerating burn, more of a charcoal kind of burn on the mouth. Like a hot burning sensation on the tongue. Starting to plateau now. Heat-wise, where do you put this? Obviously, growing conditions do vary. I don't know. They can probably get hotter. They can probably be milder. There is a range. I would say that this is somewhere between 600 and... Gosh. I think I would place this somewhere between 500 and 700,000 scovilles. Thereabouts. 500 and 600. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah, it's not quite up there at the million mark. It's probably around about 500, 600,000 scovilles, possibly a little bit higher. You never know. Grown in different conditions, probably could be hotter. So yeah, that's the Bahamian Beast, as they call it. We're going to carry on growing these out. Hopefully next season with an F3, we will start seeing some more consistency in the pods. We don't know how stable these pods are. At F2, there's a good chance that there will be a lot of variation in pheno and coloring and things like that. But definitely a variety that is worth noting and worth growing. Certainly got lots of culinary uses for this chili in my mind. Nice big pods, lovely variety to grow. Not quite up there, so if you are not quite up there with a million plus, this is a really nice variety to try. As I'm talking, I'm just salivating, and I'm getting more of an ulcerating burn in the corner of my mouth. Yeah, so yeah, a hybrid variety, open pollinated, the Bahamian Beast. You can get these seeds on our store, www.chillihead.coza. Go get them. I'll see you soon. Cheers.